Hi everyone, I'm Sarah and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be bringing you my TBR for DraconAthon / August-ish. I know that I did a TBR for the Read Eh Thon, which is the Canadian-based readathon, where you're reading books by and about Canadian authors and about Canada. That's like the loosest definition of this readathon. So those books are separate from this TBR. I want to participate in the DraconAthon, which is reading books based on or including dragons and dragon mythology. So originally I was looking at all the prompts and thought, oh, I'll pick a book for each prompt. Granted, it would only be 7 books, but because it's dragon based, a lot of those books are going to be fantasy types of books where it's a lot more effort required. They're usually a little bit denser, they're usually a little bit more heavy reads, they're usually chunky, they're usually basically introducing you to an entirely new world and characters. I don't know if I have it in me to read 7 different books that all are based in and around a fantasy setting, including dragons. Realistically, I know I could just read The Priory of the Orange Tree. I've had it for a while and I'm really excited to read it, and I know that it would fit multiple prompts. But this is a chunky boy. This is a thick book, and I don't know if I want to commit to reading that this month, to be totally honest with you. So therefore, it's not going to be on my TBR. If I read that book, I don't feel like I would read any other books, and I just want to read other stuff. So what I ended up doing is basically going through all the books that I currently have and picking out all the books that have dragons featured in some regard, and then seeing what books I wanted to read from there, and I narrowed it down to 5 choices. I feel like 5 is probably an easy number to accomplish based on how I set it up. So the first book that I chose was Uprooted by Naomi Novik. This I don't know much about. I just know that it's sort of like a fairy tale reimagining of sorts, where every 10 or 15 years a young woman is chosen to go and serve this dragon, which is a being that keeps like their land safe, or so they say. So I don't really know much more about it than that, but it's on my list. The next book I have is Seraphina by Rachel Hartman. This book I know even less about, but it's sort of like a court intrigue where dragons are sort of ostracized in the court, but like they can also appear like humans, and so it's kind of, our main character is a half dragon, so like it's kind of this weird political court thing. And then I also have The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski. I don't know if I'm saying any of that right. Which is the first in the Witcher series. There's like a 5 novel series for The Witcher, but then there's 2 short story-ish sort of collections. This is the first of those short story collections. It's sort of the first, they say to read this one first. And obviously you can see there's like a dragon right on this cover, and it's just kind of chronicling Geralt's adventures. His things that he does, things like that. Then we have Kings of the Wyld by Nicholas Ames. This book, I know it's sort of like a D&D based sort of book, or the idea is like it's inspired by D&D or something like that. But it's sort of like like a band of misfits or a band of mercenaries kind of just go and have their little adventure. I'm really not explaining any of these well at all. I know next to nothing about these because I try to not know too much about books going into it, because I don't know. And then I have The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winters. This is also the sort of group book for the DraconAthon. And it is also a book that has been on my TBR for a very, very long time. And the sequel comes out later this year, so I actually want to read this one before the sequel comes out. So yeah, I don't know too much about The Rage of Dragons, but I am excited to go through to actually read this book. I'm excited that it's a group book, kind of buddy read thing, so that'll be exciting. So yeah, so I chose these 5 books because of of them, I feel like The Rage of Dragons and Kings of the Wyld are going to be the most difficult to kind of read through because they're going to be completely new worlds and kind of, they're both a bit thicker. They've got some weight to them. And so I thought reading 2 books that are a little bit more, that are new to me would be good. And then you have, and then I have 2 books, Uprooted and Seraphina, where they're probably a little bit more of an easier read because the kind of high fantasy element is not there. It's just kind of, it's like, I don't want to say fantasy light, but I just feel like they're going to be a little bit of easier reads. They're also quite a bit thinner. And then, of course, the first Witcher series, I've watched the Netflix series, and I've played the video game, so it's a world and characters that I already kind of know. And so again, I feel like this will be a little bit easier for me to read as well. But we're gonna have to see how this whole reading thing plays out. I feel like choosing just 5 books is good because it'll be about a little less than 3 weeks to read them all. And that's, you know, about like a book and a half a week, or I don't know, give or take. Like it's a little less than 2 books a week. I feel like it's doable for me. Obviously, only the fates know for sure. Only the fates know for sure. So you'll just have to tune in to find out. Let me know in the comments below if you're participating in DraconAthon or if you're participating in any other readathons in August, what books you're planning to read, if you've read any of the books I mentioned in this video. If you've got all the way to this point, first of all, thank you so much for watching this rambly video. Please like it if you liked it, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my content. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.